Okay, so what about this guy?
Captain Kraut? No, I told you, we need to stay away from the Nazi stuff. I get enough heat from my name as it is.
What about this guy? His name is Carl Babykiller, and he's got some solid references.
I feel like maybe that's too much.
No, wait, he's got a swastika carved into his forehead.
What is with all of these Nazi-themed applicants?
Is that even a real question?
Look at this. Commander Concentrator, the gas chamber, Gestapo Gustav, Peter Panzer. This guy's just named Hitler too.
This guy's named Neo.
Okay, good.
And his last name is the Nazi.
God damn it!
Do these guys use these names when they're applying for, like, permits and stuff? Do they go to the doctor's office and go, "I, Mr. Was Right, first name Hitler, I have an appointment"?
I wanted to be original. I wanted to stand out. I went through every word in the dictionary, and then I found it. Holocaust. Destruction or slaughter on a massive scale, especially by fire or nuclear war. It had such juice to it. It invoked feelings of fear and hatred and disgust. It's a fantastic villain name. Then again, I was a younger, angrier, more arrogant man when I chose it. Admittedly, it's an insensitive use of the word, and I really have no right to reclaim it. And how could I rule the world with such a name? All hail the great and powerful Holocaust. How could future generations look up to me then? Eris, report.
The excavation happening in the lot right next to Lair 3.0 is some kind of construction project.
Did you get the name of the developer?
Narrow Industries. Doctor? Doctor, can you hear me?
All you have to do is kneel.
Professor Skull. 4 years he's quiet after trying to have me killed. And now he's back to finish the job. There's no way that he's developing that land next to our secret lair just by coincidence. If he thinks that he can just roll over me again, he is dead wrong. We'll turn his organization into rubble, and the rubble into rubble, and the rubble into dust, and the dust into rubble. Eris.
Yes, Doctor?
Double our security detail and back up all of our records and research. And activate the Phoenix Protocol.
Sir, I will remind you that...
I'm aware. Just, we don't know how hard he's gonna come at us, from what angle, or when. Where the hell are we? Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
So, what do you see, Detective?
Well, judging by the debris in the center here, hole in the ceiling is an entry, not an exit. Holocaust landed on the other side there.
This part is confusing. Ballistics found a bunch of spent casings on both sides of him. How the hell did they not kill him while he was lying down?
There's an imprint in the dust here, where he landed. No rounds were fired aimed at this location.
Doctor. Your tech fire suit is at 30% integrity. It is difficult to tell how much more punishment you need.
I thought the church roof would stop me. It didn't.
Oh.
They waited
Waited.
for him to get up. Maybe they talked to him.
Okay, so either Professor Skull put a lot of you in a lot of different buildings because he wasn't sure necessarily where I was going to land, in which case, wow. Or I've been unconscious for a lot longer than I thought, and you've all just been waiting here for me to wake up. And if that's the case, thank you. Or the pest with the rocket launcher somehow managed to aim my trajectory with the impact blast for me to land specifically here. And if that's the case, bravo! Side note, you were in fantastic shape. Where did they get you? Strippergram? Are we doing this or what?
When the fighting started, this one opened up with the 12 gauge. But it didn't kill him. Not even at this range.
He was wearing some kind of powered metallic fiber suit. Never seen anything like it.
Then the gun jammed, and he struck back. And then those two joined in. Then there's this weird dispersion in the dust. He moved here, limping, long strides. He then took out the second and the third assailant, brutally. He then took the third assailant's weapon and emptied it into the floor.
Ballistics found some of the rounds buried into the pews, but mostly they hit some sort of wall.
Were there any gunshot wounds on the fourth assailant?
None.
Here's where it gets weird. There's a circular burn in the rug.
Must have been a hell of a kick to land him all the way over there.
Then he walked over here to check the body. And that's when it happened. An anti-tank rifle was still not enough to puncture his suit, but the impact was enough to crush his ribs and stop his heart. Put an APB out on that rifle. That kind of weapon can't be easy to hide in Toronto.
Yes, ma'am.
And see if there are any eyewitnesses. These assailants match Professor Skull's MO. Someone must have seen something.
Thank you, John. A gruesome battle just took place here only moments ago between Toronto's self-titled greatest supervillain, Dr. Holocaust, and multiple assailants who are believed to be connected with elusive world-class villain Professor Skull. Police have not yet released the identities of the other persons involved, but the body of Dr. Holocaust was found on location and pronounced dead at the scene. Police also believe that this incident is somehow in relation to the other explosions that happened earlier today at Lora and Kipling. This is Susanne Sancastor reporting live for Toronto News 5. More on this at 11.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you can see, it's already been a busy day. So let's get right to it. Once again, Dr. Holocaust has made the news, still calling himself Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius. After Rob Ford left office, I'm inclined to agree. But we need to deal with his latest incident. First off, what do we know?
Dr. Holocaust. Real name, Brian S. McNamara. Born in Vancouver, BC. Grew up in rural Fergus, Ontario. Father was chief researcher in a government-funded facility. Their house was on facility grounds.
We believe this to be his first interest in mad science and his first exposure to Nikola Tesla. From there, we have a gap in his records, pretty much up to the years that he arrived in Toronto and became a villain.
That's a rather large gap. Do we even know if he's a real doctor? What can you tell me about his first years as a villain?
Just a few police reports and our surveillance footage. It could have indicated a struggle of morality. Reports show that other than Professor Skull's forces, Dr. Holocaust has a 0 body count.
Not that you can even call those things people.
Members of the board will refrain from opinion-driven commentary at this time.
Sorry, sir.
Most of the on-site forensic evidence has led us to believe that the doctor was developing and implementing non-lethal weaponry, possibly with focus on that becoming his exclusive arsenal. There was a sonic weapon he named the Pain Ray, concussive wave emitters. We even have one report of him interfering with the local criminal elements and villains, possibly preventing their activities in his territory.
Are we sure this guy is even a villain? Sorry, sir.
Yes. And in one instance, when fighting an unknown villain, he was quoted as saying, "If anyone is going to rule this world, it's going to be me."
Cute.
Now, we cannot determine at this time if this was a statement of his dominance for the other villains or if he was showing a legitimate concern for the community.
So what you're saying is we have a man who's operated for the better part of 7 years, and not only do we not have an accurate profile, we can't even surmise his true motivations. Then we'll determine what we can from his timeline.
7 years ago, he debuted with several failed attempts at taking large groups of hostages at some local geek conventions, on stage during masquerades. He had limited success at Fan Expo 2009, but no deaths or injuries were reported.
Did he have any demands?
None. We think he was attempting to make a name for himself, sir.
Later that year, he had an altercation with the known metahuman, the Savage Bandito.
This is the major incident that's throwing off the profile. He's claiming non-lethal weaponry, but he used over 6 gigawatts to take the Savage Bandito down during the fight.
Unless he knew. He knew it wouldn't kill him.
Reports show that after the fight,
He and the Bandito joined forces. Next.
He began broadcasting on an encrypted frequency that was put up on YouTube. He called it the War Front. A harmless blog, he mostly yelled about things.
And we couldn't put a profile together from that.
He wasn't forthcoming about any of the details of his past, and it seemed like he was trying to work out his ideology through many, many entries.
It is at this time he began to have varying altercations with the unregistered enhanced Captain Awesome.
Varying?
He apparently tricked Awesome into them spending some time together. I believe they refer to each other as frenemies now.
Next.
On May 16th, 2011, the local mercenary Ace of Blades was hired by Professor Skull to assassinate Holocaust.
And?
Some kind of financial trouble on Skull's part, Ace changed sides.
Now Ace is his chief of operations.
Next.
At the 2011 Canadian National Steampunk Exhibition's Mad Science Fair, Dr. Holocaust unveiled a mechanized suit of powered armor. He called it the Mechanolith.
Professor Skull hijacked some equipment from other contestants and attacked Dr. Holocaust. He was swarmed by Skull's test subject minions.
How many?
Estimated around 275?
Estimated.
Not all the cadavers were intact or even whole.
But Holocaust survived.
Yes, sir.
Next.
Well, see, after that the reports get sketchy. Holocaust started to move around a lot. He had reported contact with the ninja with a soul patch, Dr. Israel Forge, and Professor Hades. He allegedly attacked a group of young citizens with dynamite, but none were seriously injured somehow. Officer Lynn of the Toronto PD almost lost her career investigating him in 2013. Something about a hotel room with Dr. Insano. A devastating bout with the Famicom and Rider in Mars Girl in 2012. There was a bunch of notes about mustaches and cows. A possible hideout called the Black Hat Lounge that burned down recently. Oh, and destroying the newspaper editor's car.
His car.
From space, sir.
Sir, with respect, why are we going over the case file for a villain who is A, not a confirmed metahuman, and B, is dead?
Because as of 36 minutes ago, the body of Mr. McNamara, also known as Dr. Holocaust, went missing from the Toronto City morgue.